Hi everyone, it's Dr. E and I'm here with your week 3 instructional video for English 23-23. I hope that everyone is kind of getting into the groove of the semester so far. Once we get to this point, you should be a little bit more comfortable with how our course is structured and accessing different areas in D2L. So if you're still feeling by the end of this week pretty overwhelmed, please get in touch with me, right? I don't want you to feel that way. Nobody should feel that way in their online courses. So I'm here for you, okay? So to start off this week, let's go to the content area and to the week 3 module. This is a pretty straightforward week. I don't want to diminish the fact that, you still have work to do, but it is straightforward in terms of, the assignments due are a discussion and a participation quiz. So, not too much, but you do have quite a bit of reading in order to then complete your discussion and your participation quiz. So this week you'll be reading the biography of Mary Wollstonecraft as well as her text, or at least parts of it. We're only reading selections from A Vindication of the Rights of Women. This is a pretty important text when it comes to thinking about history in Great Britain and beyond related to women and women's rights. Mary Wollstonecraft is one of the first authors who really wrote about these subjects and pushed back against a patriarchal society, right, where all the decisions, all the land ownership, all the rights were basically given to men, right, rather than women. So we have the weekly instructional video that you're watching right now. There actually won't be a supplemental video, so don't worry about that. I will cross that out when I go back to revise and edit. You do have a discussion due on Thursday as well as a participation quiz. All right, I want you to note that you can respond to 2 of your colleagues, and that is worth a potential bonus of 5 points if all, Sorry, my shoes are making noises. If you meet all the requirements, if you have a good and in-depth response to your colleagues that show that you've read and that you've read their work, that kind of thing. You're watching what will appear right here. There's nothing to review, although of course I'm always going to say you have all the modules over here on the left-hand side. It's never a bad idea just to go through and double check everything, just to make sure, like I said, you're on the right track and not feeling too overwhelmed, right? All right, so the discussion for this week, of course, is based on our reading. And so what I want you to do is, in 1 to 2 paragraphs, I want you to think about your experience in reading this text. It's, from a time period where the writing is not necessarily as straightforward as it is nowadays. We're not talking Shakespearean, but not far off in terms of the diction and the vocabulary and things of that nature. So was it difficult? I want you to really identify why or why not. And to push that even further, I want you to provide an example from the text. So if you thought it was difficult, what's an example? If you did not think it was difficult, what is something that you read and it seemed very clear and straightforward? Or you can mix the two, maybe some sections were hard and maybe some were not, that kind of thing. All right, and in 1 to 2 paragraphs, I want you to think about her ideas. What do you believe is her most compelling or interesting idea and why? So this really requires that you justify, right, your response. So what is a point that she makes that at the time period is really compelling? It really goes against the grain. So that really is going to ask you to consider not only her text, but then our reading from the period introduction from last week. So to think about those 2 together. All right. Your grade for something like this for a discussion post is really going to be based on effectively communicating your ideas, right? This requires also that you show you've read the text, you understand it. I'm always going to say this, take your time with reading our work because especially when we're in these earlier time periods, the reading is a little bit more complicated, and that's, it's understandable, and it should take a little bit more time and energy than perhaps more of the contemporary work that we're working our way into in the upcoming weeks. Take your time to revise and edit. Use Grammarly, because why not? If we have these tools at our disposal, then by all means, use them. Remember that you want to start a new thread, and as your subject, you're going to use your name and your chosen pronouns, should you choose, and then start your response here. All right, so if we go back to the week 3 module, The only other thing to complete is, of course, your quiz, and this is going to be based on this video, and the word for the quiz today is going to be nails, because I have a dog who's click-clacking around right now with her nails. So that'll be the random word. And then make sure that you've read her Mary Wollstonecraft's biography, as well as the actual text that's assigned. So you cover all your bases and do well on that quiz. All right, if you have any questions, of course, reach out to me, let me know, but there's also that Q&A discussion board area that's always open to you. You can post anonymously if you would prefer. You can help one another and answer each other's questions here if you're comfortable with the response. And please make sure you remember that in the discussion area, there's also the student-only chat. I don't access that area, I can't, so feel free to exchange phone numbers, start a group chat, do whatever it is that you want to do to, create a sense of community here and feel supported with your colleagues, right? All right, if you have any questions, like I said, let me know, but if not, have a wonderful week, good luck, and I'm hoping, again, that you're feeling a lot more confident in how our course is structured. All right, take care.